It was kind of crazy when it happened.
A Metro woman just doing her job when she says she came face to face with the bottom of a gun barrel.
I just kind of stood there. It didn't seem real.
A donut shop, a pharmacy, and a grocery store. 3 terrifying crimes in less than 1 hour.
Until he left is when I broke down.
What police are saying.
I could not stop shaking. I was bawling.
At 3:38 this afternoon, our dispatch center got reports of an aircraft accident. When our crews arrived, they found a twin-engine, jet-style corporate aircraft that had crashed and was upside down.
An Oklahoma aircraft on the final leg of its trip when something went horrifically wrong.
It's just a tragic day, and we are terribly, terribly sorry.
Tonight, what we now know about the deadly crash.
Being that we are who we are here in Oklahoma, this will trickle out through the community. It's just terrible.
You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 10.
And that is where we begin tonight at 10. Federal investigators trying to piece together exactly what caused a jet to make a crash landing this afternoon.
It happened at Sundance Airport. Both people on board have died. News
4's Bill Miston has been on the scene since around the time the first call came out, and he's joining us live. And Bill, what's new and what's the mood out there tonight?
Well, Kevin and Joleen, it's a somber one. It's a sense of mourning. Even throughout much of the afternoon, watching a number of people stream into the terminal building here at Sundance Airport, some of them crying, extremely worried, concerned, and now mourning about these deaths of these 2 individuals. And right now, it's a sense of mourning that is among the tight-knit aviation community.
We do ask for thoughts and prayers for all of those that are involved here.
The crash at Sundance Airport hitting close to home for the Oklahoma aviation community. A twin-engine jet crashing while attempting to land at the Northwest Oklahoma City Airport shortly after 3:30 Monday. One person, a man, died at the scene. A second person on the plane, a woman, was transported to the hospital in critical condition. Unfortunately, she did not survive.
We did determine that there were 2 and only 2 victims on the aircraft.
Oklahoma City fire officials say there was no ground fire. However, a fuel leak was quickly contained.
We did send a rescue crew from our Rescue 8, our heavy rescue team, in to search the aircraft to make 100% sure that we only had 2 victims on board.
This is what we know about the aircraft. It's an Israeli Aircraft Industries 1124 Westwind. Built in 1978, it's a twin-engine turbofan corporate jet. It seats 7 to 10 passengers and has a crew of 2. The jet is owned by Sundance Airport. When reached by phone Monday, Sundance owner Jerry Hunter telling News 4 he knows the 2 pilots on the plane and said he would gladly trade places with either.
It's just a tragic day, and we are terribly, terribly sorry.
An airport spokesperson says that relatives are still being notified and that those killed in the crash were known to many.
It is truly difficult to find the words to express the amount of sadness that this group is feeling. Everybody that is here at Sundance is truly a family. They're very, very close community here.
A community now in mourning. Now the scene here has pretty much wrapped up for the evening, save for a police officer that is still stationed here guarding over that crash site until federal investigators from the FAA and the NTSB can arrive to try and start sorting out what caused this crash. Airport officials say it's likely that the names of the victims will be released tomorrow. Reporting live on the city's far northwest side, Bill Miston, Oklahoma's News 4.
Our thoughts with everyone. Thank you, Bill. This next story might make you a little upset, make your blood boil. An Oklahoma assistant fire chief caught up in an almost unbelievable crime. News 4's Cassandra Sweetman has the story tonight in Okmulgee.
Deputies say it was an undercover sting that landed the assistant fire chief behind bars, an agent offering sex with a 13-year-old girl. But the disturbing details don't end there.
It's disgusting. You know, there's no other way to put it.
An assistant fire chief for an Oklahoma Army plant busted for allegedly going after a child. The target, someone he thought was a 13-year-old girl. Okmulgee County deputies say this man, Keith McVickers, was captured in an undercover sex sting operation. It began 2 weeks ago on the internet.
I was contacted by Mr. McVicker via email.
Sergeant Aaron Swayze was pretending to be a father offering sex with his 13-year-old daughter.
It was all for sexual pleasure.
Deputies say the plan was for McVickers to have sex with the girl while her father watched, a scenario Sergeant Swayze says isn't unusual.
I know several other officers that have dealt with stuff like this, quite regularly.
Monday morning, McVickers drove to this Brahms in Henrietta, where deputies say he thought he was going to be meeting the man and his daughter, and he came prepared.
He showed up with several condoms in his pocket.
A handshake with Sergeant Swayze ended with McVickers in cuffs. That's when deputies discovered he was the assistant fire chief at the McAllister Army ammunition plant.
He's a fireman. What kid doesn't love firemen?
Now investigators are working to discover any actual victims McVickers may have.
People that are willing to go to this extent to travel somewhere to meet a child, this isn't going to be their first victim.
We reached out to the ammunition plant for comment, but no one has gotten back. Now McVickers is in jail for allegedly proposing to commit a lewd act with a child. McVicker will remain in jail overnight. A bond amount will be set tomorrow. Reporting from the Okmulgee County Sheriff's Office, Cassandra Sweetman, Oklahoma's News 4.
Oh, man, unbelievable. Well, elsewhere tonight, they say the early bird gets the worm, and police say one thief started his day really early this morning. 3 places hit in less than 1 hour. News 4's Siobhan Bryant spoke to a store clerk who got caught up in the chaos. Siobhan?
That's right, Kevin, and that clerk spent the rest of the day trying to calm her nerves after finding herself staring down the barrel of a gun while she was at work this morning. Police say the man holding that gun tried to rob 3 businesses in less than an hour, all before sunrise. Now, surveillance cameras got a pretty good shot of him before he pulled his hoodie over his face, and now police want to talk to him in connection with the crimes.
I think about it, and it's like it was only hours ago that I had a gun to my face.
A cashier rattled after a fast-moving thief robbed her at gunpoint just 1 hour into her shift. Now police want to track down this man.
Until he left is when I broke down. Like, I could not stop shaking. I was bawling.
But what she didn't know was that she was the 3rd place hit by the same person in less than an hour. First, a Walmart neighborhood market.
He walks over to the pharmacy and tries to open the door. It's locked, and he's confronted by an employee who follows him out of the store and tells him that he has to leave.
Minutes later, an attempted robbery reported at a CVS just blocks away.
The same suspect description comes out, a white male. He's wearing a blue hoodie. In that situation, the clerk was unable to get the register open to give him money, so he left the store.
And the same description reported soon after at a donut shop.
He walked in, and as soon as he saw me, he put the gun up, and he was like, give me the money.
But police say there may be more than one person of interest here because the busybody robber was a passenger.
But he's seen getting into the passenger side, getting in and out of a 2015-ish gray Nissan Frontier. Somebody else is assumed to be driving that pickup truck, but we don't have a good description of that getaway driver.
I just stayed as quiet as I could, as calm as I could, and just did what he asked so like I wouldn't get hurt. I mean, I'm just happy nothing happened to me because honestly, it could have gone worse.
Now, police say the early morning robber brandished a weapon at 2 of those 3 businesses. And at the end of the morning spree, Palma says he's believed to have only walked away with about $300.
Also on Crime Watch, 3 men in jail tonight accused of killing an Oklahoma teenager. You might remember this from Friday. Air Comfort Solutions Chopper 4 hovering over the scene near the Oklahoma State Capitol. An 18-year-old man lying dead in the parking lot. Police say it's a crime that started more than 200 miles away in Idabel, Oklahoma. And that's where the victim, Jake McLean, along with his friend, Seth Tisho, began a road trip to Oklahoma City. Police say they were trying to sell illegal goods, and at some point during that transaction, Jefferson is accused of, Joleen Jefferson, accused of pulling out a gun and then pulling the trigger. He is now charged with murder, along with Elijah Wilson. The victim's friend also facing a murder charge. Police say it is because he was involved in a crime when his friend was killed. The 18-year-old's mother says she's still trying to make sense of all this.
She just filled up a room, and all of his pictures are him doing something to make people laugh. The people responsible for this have mothers, too, and I pray for them. And other than that, it's a police matter, and I have full faith in them.
Gilbert says Jake was an all-state football star. She also says they plan to start a new job at the McCurtain County Jail this week. Tonight, all 3 suspects accused in his death are being held in the Oklahoma County Jail without bond.
Well, it was the largest pot bust in Tulsa city history. And if you're a car lover, you're going to want to listen up to this. That's because the Tulsa Police Department is planning to put 21 high-performance drag and drift cars up for sale. It all stems from the arrest of 35-year-old Kong Vang. Authorities say he's accused of trafficking 1,500 pounds of pot worth $5 million. Said he brought it from California. The drugs found inside his home and business. But here's where the cars come in. He cut a deal with prosecutors, agreeing to give them up, those vehicles, in exchange for a lesser sentence. The cars are being sold online through the 1st of April. We have the information for you on our website.
Talking about marijuana here, more than 68,000 Oklahomans are prescription pot card carriers, an increase of nearly 20,000 people in just 1 month. Those new numbers released by the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority earlier today.
Well, a new parking plan in one metro city has some people pretty fired up. The mayor of the village asking folks to quit filling their driveways with boats, RVs, and trailers. The proposed code change would allow no more than one at a residence if they are over a certain height and length. Those vehicles would only be allowed in driveways for 48 hours before they'd need to be gone. For boat or travel owners, they need to store them inside a paved or gravel surface that's also out of sight from the road. Some of those in the village applaud the move. Others, like longtime resident Robert Mansell, are in protest.
With this proposal, I can't keep my trailer for my Jeep in my backyard or my motorhome. We've chose to live here the rest of our life, and little changes like this are just making it more difficult.
The village is at a kind of a growth point and a changing point, and some of these things aren't comfortable to go through, but I think as a city we have to address them and move forward.
That last person you heard from was Village Mayor Sonny Wilkinson. He says one of the reasons behind the proposed change is the millions of bucks worth of road renovations that are currently going on. He also says it's no different than what cities like Yukon or Edmond have on the books. The city council planning to meet about it on April 1st, and the public comment is welcome. If the measure does pass, the new regulations will start in October.
Elsewhere tonight, two dangerous situations developing, both right in the Midwest. A petrochemical fire near Houston has been spewing a dangerous tower of black smoke, and it can be seen for miles. More than half a dozen storage tanks have caught fire, and tonight authorities are worried about the air quality. The blaze started Sunday morning, but it spread overnight. We're told the tanks were filled with chemicals used in gasoline, things like paint thinners and glues that could cause nausea, breathing problems, even skin irritation. Authorities now saying it could take 2 more days to douse those flames. Now to the other story we were telling you about earlier. Large sections of the plains underwater. Flood warnings and advisories now in place for about 10 million people. In the historic heartland flooding that's claimed at least 3 lives so far. This is mainly impacting the Wisconsin and Iowa areas. Entire communities have been cut off by floodwaters. Some residents left stranded for days. Officials blaming melting snow and heavy rainfall. Kevin.
All right, how about some good news? Winter is winding down. That's good news. So is our annual coat drive. But tonight, a generous group of teenagers helping put an exciting end on this year's Brad Edwards Warmth for Winter. Here's our Scott Hines.
Warm coats, even warmer hearts.
This is going to be for a little girl with a little brother who likes to eat chocolate.
Students from Sealing Public Schools committed to doing the most good. They took it upon themselves to collect about 200 coats and made the 2-hour haul from their hometown to News 4 studios.
It's been really great, and it's helped me improve as a person.
I almost didn't expect people to be so generous, and whenever we tell people what we're doing, they automatically just like, boom, they want to help.
Sealing High's Beta Club and its longtime sponsor, Helen Sander, spearheaded the coat drive. A 10-year tradition that keeps growing.
The community has been so used to it every year that they start bringing the coats before we even put an ad in the paper.
And there was one older person that came up to me and they heard about sealing. We were doing it, and so she contacted me and she gave me a few, I think it was like probably 10 or 12 coats, which was really surprising to me.
Teaching generosity to the next generation.
Thank you.
I'm Scott Hines, in your corner.
All right, good for them. You have a problem for Scott Hines and the In Your Corner team? We'll call the In Your Corner hotline or send us a message on our website.
Now, forewarned weather with Jon Slater.
And good evening to everyone. What a day today, weather-wise at least. Let's check out the time lapse here. A little replay of the day. A lot of sunshine, warm temperatures, light winds, dry air. Now the fire danger was extremely high today, and the tree pollen also very high. Otherwise, really nice out there today. 38 degrees the low this morning here in Oklahoma City at Will Rogers. 68 degrees this afternoon for a high temperature above our average high of 64. No rain today, but I want to point out for the month and the year so far, we're a little bit above average. Certainly some good news, and there's more rain showing up on that 7A plus 4 more. Out there right now, clear skies, dry air, light winds, a gorgeous evening ongoing, 52 degrees right now here at KFOR. Temperature-wise here in central Oklahoma, right now, 40s and 50s. Check out Fort Cobb and El Reno in the 40s right now. 55 up around Stillwater, 54 Shawnee. Norman currently running 55 degrees across the state. 40s and 50s across the board here. 54 up around Ponca City, 56 McAllister, 48 Alva, 47 Clinton, Weatherford area. Altus right now, a chilly 48 degrees. Winds are light and variable. We're out of the south-southeast, about 5 to 10 miles per hour. A weak front stalling out right through central Oklahoma. No big deal. No moisture with this front, so basically clear skies, light winds. A nice night in the forecast tonight, early tomorrow morning. Now, on the big view, our next weather system is coming in from the north-northwest. Little upper air disturbance coming in with a weak frontal system. This is diving down to the southeast. This will move across our state later on tomorrow, especially tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. Not much moisture with this. We'll squeeze out a little bit of rain tonight, tomorrow on into Wednesday morning. That's about it with that system. Off the west coast, a stronger storm system. You can see this thing spinning around off the west coast. Unfortunately, this is bad timing for our weekend. Good chance of showers and thunderstorms moving in as we take you into the weekend, maybe some heavy rain and severe weather. In the meantime, for tonight, we could see a little bit of light rain developing far northwest in the Panhandle as that next front approaches. Otherwise, clear to partly cloudy skies, a light south breeze, lows tonight, upper 30s, low to mid 40s. That's the weather tonight, tomorrow morning. Then during the day tomorrow, that front moving into northwestern Oklahoma. Ahead of the front, partly cloudy skies, gusty winds out of the south. Another day, mid to upper 60s, lower 70s. Very high fire danger again tomorrow afternoon right through central Oklahoma. And we'll see some showers develop along and especially behind the front, moving from the Panhandle into far northwestern Oklahoma during Tuesday afternoon. Now, this front slides down to the southeast, so the best chance of some rain here in central Oklahoma will be Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Not a lot of moisture with it, but a little rain Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. As that front moves on by, winds go to the northwest at about 10 to 25 miles per hour. Lows 30s and 40s by Wednesday morning. And Wednesday afternoon, that system quickly, rapidly pushes off to the southeast, clearing skies, gusty winds out of the northwest on Wednesday. High temperatures a little bit cooler behind this front, but nothing really that cold. 50s and low 60s as we say hello to the first day of spring. There you go on Wednesday afternoon. Rainfall totals, again, not much moisture with this system. The heaviest rain, the Panhandle through west central, northwestern Oklahoma. Little sliver here of about 0.3 of an inch here in central Oklahoma, probably 1/10 of an inch or less as this system is rapidly losing moisture as it pushes off to the east-southeast. If we're lucky, enough rain to settle the dust here in central Oklahoma tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, that's it. So for tonight, partly cloudy, a nice night. Light southeast breeze will drop it down to 40. For tomorrow, we'll make a run at 70. Partly cloudy, breezy, mild, 68 degrees just ahead of that front coming in. There's our chance of showers Tuesday night and Wednesday morning here in the metro area. Just light to moderate showers. We clear out Wednesday afternoon, a northwest breeze, a little cooler, 59. First day of spring. Thursday, Friday look great. Highs, low 60s, partly cloudy skies. Upper 30s, low 40s during the morning hours. And here comes the weekend. Rain chances ramp up Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. Occasional showers and storms, heavy rainfall, maybe some severe weather. And then it looks like it clears out and dries up after the weekend on my 7A plus 4 more. That's the latest weather. Back to you.
Thank you, John. A future Hall of Famer making his final appearance in Oklahoma City.
The peak, no, the heat at the peak. And the Thunder having to go into that war without Westbrook. That's next on Oklahoma's News 4 at 10.
You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 10 with Joleen Chaney, Kevin Ogle, Mike Morgan, Brian Brinkley, and Scott Hines in your corner. Oklahoma's News 4, looking out for you. Now, sports with Brian Brinkley.
Normally, if I'm talking about In-N-Out, it revolves around cheeseburgers. But tonight, it's about basketball. One future Hall of Famer is in town for his final appearance in OKC, while another one is out, as in out of the game. The retiring Dwayne Wade and the Miami Heat visited the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight with Russell Westbrook out due to a one-game suspension for getting 16 technical fouls this season. Dwayne Wade's final walk into the peak as a player, but the 37-year-old played like he was 27. The Thunder committed 19 turnovers tonight. Off the steal, Wade gets the layup. He had 25 points. Miami overcame a 13-0 Thunder start with a 33-8 run to take the lead for good. Thunder tried to rally. Jeremy Grant was brilliant. The dunk there, he had a career-high 27 points. OKC down just 7, but the Heat went on a 15-3 run in the fourth quarter to build a 19-point lead, and it was former Edmond Santa Fe standout Josh Richardson that gave him that lead with that 3. He had 9 points, and the Heat won at 116-107. OKC has lost 3 straight and are now tied for 5th in the West with the Spurs.
When they came in with Dragic and Wade, we had a hard time stopping those guys, and they obviously went on an incredible run with their second unit. And then I thought the other part of it too for us is I thought we had really some crucial, timely turnovers that, kind of maybe stopped some momentum for us.
The Thunder wrap up their 3-game homestand Wednesday night when they host Toronto and will retire Nick Collison's number 4 jersey that night. When we get back, the Sooners are dancing and the seniors are going out the way they'd hoped. It's next on Oklahoma's News 4. Oklahoma's men's basketball team is back in the NCAA tournament for the 6th time in the last 7 years. The Sooners are the number 9 seed in the South region and will face 8-seeded Mississippi on Friday at 11:40 a.m. in Columbia, South Carolina. For senior Christian James, it's special to finish his career in the Big Dance.
It means a lot. I don't never take this moment for granted. To go to the tournament 3 out of 4 years, that's pretty special, and I want to make this run pretty special. To end it on a good note. These guys have worked so hard. We've prepared for this moment, and we got an opportunity to play, try to win this ball game. Let's go as far as possible.
And congratulations to the Southwestern Oklahoma State women's team. They beat Fort Hays State on the road tonight to move on to the Elite 8 of the Division II NCAA tournament. They'll play next Tuesday in Columbus. OCU trying to get to the finals of the NAI tournament, trailing by 1 in the 3rd quarter on the women's side. Back with more after this.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
See you tomorrow.